Welcome to Pflugerville Pfinds. I'm Carla Grismala, your tourism and marketing coordinator here at the city of Pflugerville, and I'm really excited to take you into Cranky Granny's today. They're going to tell us a little bit about the business, show me how to make some sweet rolls, and hopefully I get to try some. All right, let's go on in. I want to introduce you guys to Chef Siani of Cranky Granny's. We're so excited to be here today and for you to tell us a little bit more about your business, show me how to make some rolls, and hopefully I get to try some because I love it here. So I want you to tell me a little bit of how you got started.
Okay, yes, definitely. So I originally came up with the concept of Cranky Granny's when I was 14 years old. I started to really execute at 18, but in between I was doing like market research, started everything out of the high school kitchen, but then into my mom's house. And then I was working outside of an apartment for a while, as well as selling like food platters, doing catering. But Cranky Granny's was like that dessert component. And at first they were absolutely terrible. But over time they got a lot better and stuff. Like I started having the patience and stuff. At first they were super floury, dense. And even when Granny was staying with us at that time, I had her trying. She was like, "Siani, they're good." I'm like, "Granny, they're really not." But I appreciate it. But it just kept. Honestly, it really just kept me going because I knew the truth, honestly. And then we started out with probably about 3 different flavors: a classic, caramel, apple, and mocha. But over time, we started to add more to the menu. Granny is the actual face of the logo and inspiration behind it also.
What does Pflugerville mean to you?
Honestly, Pflugerville, now it means home to me. It took a while for me to kind of get adjusted to Texas in general because I'm originally from Jersey. But if I had to make a comparison, it kind of reminds me of back home. I'm originally from Willingboro, New Jersey.
Okay.
We don't have as much diversity as a Pflugerville does, but I still feel like that homey feeling.
Yeah.
I feel like once we moved here to Pflugerville, we were invited by everyone. It's not like we felt like a little bit of distance or anything. Everyone was happy to have us. And we had our first store over in Austin at the Domain. We used to always have customers coming and asking, "Hey, why don't you guys come to Pflugerville? Why don't you come to Pflugerville?" I did not know where Pflugerville was. So I live in Georgetown. And I have to drive through Pflugerville to get to Austin. But I was literally just going from point A to point B. I never knew where it was at. But once I finally came, I was like, oh, now I see why everybody keeps telling us to come to Pflugerville.
Yeah.
Because it's really just a big old community. Like, and I don't say it from the sense of just a literal sense of a community, but more so like family-like. So I really like it out here.
So I do want to brag on you a little bit. I have seen and have been part of some of the community awards that you guys have gotten. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so like recently we just won the Best of Pflugerville for Best Bakery, and then we also just won the Slice of Pflugerville also for the 2nd year in a row. We came in 2nd place, so.
I really am glad that you have the deal for the 4 rolls because I can't seem to ever pick a favorite and I have to try multiple ones every time we come in.
Right.
Do you have a favorite one?
I definitely do.
Yeah.
So our brown butter, our cookie butter banana crunch, cookies and cream, and sometimes I like to add warm strawberries on top. And then we have this savory roll. We don't have it on the menu anymore, but it used to be a buffalo chicken roll.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely amazing. I loved it.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really excited you're going to show me how to make these cinnamon rolls and all the heart that you put into each flavor. So are you ready to give me a little lesson in the kitchen?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go. All right. Okay, so let's walk through this process together.
Okay. All right, so we have our flour down at the bottom. We have our dough here on top. Want to add some additional flour, really just so the dough doesn't start to stick to the table or to our rolling pin. So we're going to roll our dough out. This definitely takes some manpower. This keeps my shoulders strong as who knows. Yeah. Honestly, I don't mind it though. I think only because I've been doing it for so long. But when you have a ton to do, it definitely can be a lot. And this is part of the secret too, making sure you got a ton of butter. We're putting it from the bottom to the top, every little corner.
No added calories, right?
Of course not. All right, so we got that butter layered on top, and then we're going to do 2 cups of cinnamon sugar, and I just want you to put that right there on top.
Just all over?
Yep, all over. So you could sprinkle it, or you could dump it too. I normally dump it because I'm gonna take my hand all over it anyway.
Oh, we lost some bit.
All right.
Awesome. That's the magic right there.
Yep, and then again, we just want to get every little corner, a little area. All right. I'm gonna go all the way up. So now we got our log. Try to wipe some of that additional flour off. All right, and then we're gonna get about 2-inch cuts.
You got it down.
It's funny because when I was in high school, this was definitely one of my flaws. I could not get consistency, and my chef was always getting on me all the time about it. Like, Siani, you have to do consistency. You don't want to have too many different size rolls and stuff. And now I've been able to kind of master it.
Look at that. They're like perfect.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right, so we basically roll our cinnamon rolls out, and also our dough, glaze, and toppings are made from scratch. So whatever it is that we're going to basically do for tomorrow, we have to make the dough today, let it proof, rise, and everything overnight in the refrigerator, and then we start handling everything in the morning. And then we're baking throughout the day. So that's like one of the things I feel like kind of separates us away from some of the other bakeries, is the fact that we're not doing all of our baking at 6, 7 in the morning or something like that. And you just come in and say, hey, I want that cinnamon roll, or I want that cinnamon roll. We make it to order.
Yeah.
So we have especially on like a fast-paced day, like a Saturday, Sunday, we have a fresh tray of cinnamon rolls coming out probably every 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's awesome. And that's one of the things I really like about it. It always comes out warm. It tastes fresh. Like, you know it's like fresh made as soon as you get it. Yeah.
So I normally like to get all of my cinnamon rolls ready first. So we're going to do a peach cobbler. We got our classic glaze. And then we're also going to do a churro, which has classic also.
And the classic is good, you guys.
So all of our glazes basically have the same base, which is our classic, and then we kind of build from there. So we have different glazes all the time. The ones that we have right now though is a brown butter, cookies and cream, and the tres leches in our classic. All right, and then we'll also get a head start on our tres leches. Want to get our sauce there at the bottom, layer that there on top. Then we have our tres leches glaze. All right, I'm gonna come right under it again. And so then we're gonna come hit it with our whipped cream. So what we do is basically turn your favorite desserts into cinnamon rolls.
I'm good with it.
So we have a small strawberry here. And then we have our churro that we're going to do. So that's our classic glaze, cinnamon sugar. Then we're going to do our chocolate and then caramel. And the churro cinnamon roll, honestly, we came out with this cinnamon roll when we came here to Texas. Because we had a customer come and say, oh, well, you know, you got to make something that's specific to Texas. And I'm like, okay, well, what do y'all like out here? He's like, churros. I like, all right, let's try a churro cinnamon roll.
Churros are delicious.
Yeah.
I'm really glad it's on the menu. It is one of my favorites.
All right, and then we're going to come right over to the right. And then we have our peach cobbler. So, all right, add a little more juice on top. Over here again. And we got some crushed wafers for a little crunch. And then I have one more. We're gonna do this banana pudding. And I like to think we're making it look like a little sunflower. You're gonna circle them around. Add some extra little bananas in there. Grab a big vanilla wafer. And then we have some vanilla wafers right there around the sides. So again, everything that you would have in a regular banana pudding, except for you got a cinnamon roll right there at the bottom too.
Gorgeous.
So these are definitely our top 4.
Amazing.
Outside of the classic too.
We really appreciate you taking the time to tell us a little bit more about you and having us here today. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Well, first, it was definitely a pleasure having you guys. I definitely had a lot of fun today. You guys can find us here at 16051 Desau Road, Suite F, Pflugerville, Texas, 78660. We're on Instagram at Cranky Grannies, Twitter at Cranky Grannies, on TikTok, Sweet Roll Dealer. And we're also on Facebook, Cranky Granny Sweet Rolls. We got our page hacked though, so you guys can also find us at Cranky Granny Sweet Rolls 2.0 on Facebook.
I can't wait to dig into this peach cobbler roll. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Pflugerville Finds. I hope to see you next time.